My name is Elisabeth Hobson. I am a woman in the men's rights movement. I'm here because this movement is at the vanguard of the advancement towards the values that matter to me: truth, equality, justice, liberty. I'm the Director of Communications at the political party Justice for Men and Boys and the Women Who Love Them. It took a journey to get me here, but it's a very pleasant place to be, surrounded by good, brave, compassionate and kind men and women who do what they do out of love, and we'll win the day however long it takes. We won the intellectual argument a long time ago. Our job right now is spreading the news. Years ago, I identified as a feminist because I was misinformed by my educators, the media, politicians and activists that women as a class were disadvantaged compared to men. Then I started to look at that assumption, and what I discovered was that not only are feminist issues baseless conspiracy theories, fantasies, lies, delusions or myths, as my boss Mike Buchanan puts it, but that men and boys are facing grievous neglect, discrimination and scorn in our societies. From the baby boy strapped, screaming, to the circumstraint, having an integral part of his genitals needlessly amputated, to the lack of funding for male illnesses, to the agonizing struggles faced by separated fathers in maintaining meaningful access to their children. When those realizations dawned on me, I started to identify as a men's rights advocate. As my understanding developed, however, it became strikingly apparent that the neglect, discrimination and scorn that men and boys face are not just features of our society that feminists haven't noticed or gotten around to fighting yet, but rather that feminists actively encourage them in order to protect and extend female privilege and immunity. In the face of a mind-blowing gender justice gap in the treatment of offenders based on their sex, feminist individuals and campaign groups push for a widening of discriminatory practice. In the face of fewer men entering university, feminists push for more women in the few subjects where they don't already dominate. In the face of 200 fathers losing access to their children in UK family courts every day, feminists produce misleading and inflammatory reports, such as Women's Aid's 19 child homicides, designed to give the impression that all fathers in battles for access should be treated as potential child murderers. Seeing this appalling and intrinsic dimension to the evil creed of feminism that dominates our time, a political paradigm shift occurred in me. My focus is now on feminism's wrongs as much as men's rights, and I proudly identify as an anti-feminist. It's not just about men and boys, though. Feminism transgresses against humanity as a whole. We're too interconnected for male disadvantage not to negatively impact on women and girls anyway. You can't poison half a well. But feminists directly harm women too, by pushing for them to be deprived of their jobs when the sisterhood disapproves, censoring the critically important abortion debate, and attacking any of us who would advocate for equal rights, treatment, opportunities, choices and respect for men and boys, for example. Feminist narratives are also toxic for women who internalize them. Convincing them that STEM fields are rife with misogyny deters women from pursuing education in such areas. Convincing them that female victims of sexual crimes are treated badly by authorities deters them from pursuing justice, and valorizing female victimhood traps women with unhealthy concepts of themselves and their societies. At present, the situation is dire, but eventually the non-feminist majority will start to make its presence felt in the institutions responsible for enabling, ratifying and administering discrimination, such as government, media, courts, and education sectors. The non-feminist revolution will come, and it will give rise to better people in better societies living better lives. What side of history will you be on?